Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Danielle. Today I have 8 ways that you can create a beautiful home even if you're on a budget. Tip number 1, shop your home first. Before you go out and spend any money, get inventory on the items that you have in your home that you can use and things that you'll need. And then go room by room in your house and look for things like baskets, art, decor, things that you can add to another space to create a new refreshed look without spending any money. Don't overthink this process. You can always replace items from existing rooms with other things around your home. I do this all the time, and it's a simple way to kind of refresh your spaces without spending a lot of money. Once you have shopped your house, I recommend looking secondhand. Great resources are Facebook Marketplace, your local thrift shops, Goodwill, things like that. Just by adding a coat of paint or new hardware, things like that, can easily upgrade a piece to feel brand new to you without having to spend a lot of money. You'd be surprised how many people let go of really nice things, sometimes even new, just because it's not serving them, doesn't fit in their space, and you can find really nice high-end pieces for a fraction of the cost. So definitely shop your home first and then secondhand before you go out and spend any money on anything new first. Tip number 1, fresh paint. The power of paint is amazing. You can change the entire look of your home and feel of your home just by changing the paint color and the paint finish. I personally like to use an eggshell finish for my home, especially in areas like the living room and bedrooms. It has a nice velvety, creamy finish to it, and it's just beautiful. If you're someone that loves a pop of color, rather than painting your walls a nice bold color, try to keep the walls more neutral and then add pops of color through your artwork, your decor, pillows, things like that. It's a lot less expensive and more easy to change those items out rather than painting an entire space in a year or two if you don't like that color anymore. Another way to add paint to your room, if you like some color, is paint a piece of furniture a pop of color. For example, in our laundry room, we decided to do accents of blue. So one wall we did some blue striped wallpaper, and then to tie in that element of blue, we painted our upper cabinets in the laundry room a nice creamy blue as well, and it just is beautiful, and I love my laundry room. And it's a really nice way to add color into our home without having to commit to painting the entire space blue color. Another way that we did this in our home is in our main bathroom that our children use and our guests use. We painted the vanity pink, just for a pop of color that kind of ties in some other decor pieces that we have in the space. And it's just a simple, easy way to add a pop of color without, again, committing to painting the entire room. When it comes to purchasing paint, I would just check your local hardware store. Ask an employee if they have any clearance or discounted paint. Sometimes customers will come and have paint mixed, and then they choose not to purchase the paint because they don't like it once it's mixed. And then the store sells it to the public at a discounted price. So I've lucked out a lot of times finding a color and finish that I like in the clearance. Tip number 3, rearrange your space and your furniture. Sometimes we can't really put our finger on why our space just doesn't feel right. I've done this since I was a little girl. I was constantly rearranging my bedroom. Anytime I was feeling bored or just needed a little bit of refresh, I would move my bed around or my furniture, and it instantly gave my space a new look, and it kept things interesting, especially when I was a teenager. It was a really fun way to add personality into my space without spending any money. A little hack for this is stand at the furthest point of your room and take a photo. Sometimes when we're just looking at our space, we can be really distracted by all the things at once. If you take a picture, it's easier to look at that photo and see areas of clutter, or if your furniture is too big or too small for the space. Even if the way your furniture is placed, if you walk into a room and you see the back of a sofa, maybe try flipping it so you walk into the front of the sofa, which can feel a little bit more inviting and welcoming to your guests. Be intentional about your furniture layout, especially in areas like the living room or family rooms. Create conversational pieces. bank a sofa with 2 chairs and a small circular coffee table, or 2 smaller sofas and a coffee table. Just really getting intentional about the space that you're trying to create. Keeping things facing each other, again, is conversational and inviting, and it gives a nice, warm, cozy feeling to your home. Tip number 4, upgrade your lighting. There are so many nice, inexpensive options for lighting online, whether it's Wayfair or Amazon. There's so many online stores that you can search. If you have an older home, it was really common not to have overhead lighting, so you rely on things like lamps. If this is the case and you don't have a lot of electrical or outlets available, try using battery operated lamps or rechargeable bulbs, or even wall sconces. I think it's so beautiful if you have a staircase and you bank it with 3 or 4 wall sconces going up, depending on the span of your staircase. I think that's just a timeless classic look, and so many options are remote controlled or on a timer, and it's just an easy way to add nice, warm, ambient lighting, and it really sets the mood in your space. Try opting for a warmer light, especially in your lamps and sconces, things like that. Sometimes too cool of lighting can be really harsh and kind of feel a little sterile, where that warmer tone light is more calm and peaceful. Tip number 5, declutter your home. This tip might actually make you some money if you are able to part ways with things that you can sell on Facebook Marketplace or Mercari or any other online sites that you can sell your items. Just go room by room in your house and ask yourself if you truly like these items. Try to let go of the guilt of the money that you've spent on things, and really curate your house to the items that just bring you joy and that you actually use in your life. There's no need hanging on to these items just because you've spent money on it. I did a whole 7-day declutter challenge where each day for 7 days I decluttered a different space in my home. I only gave myself 1 hour, and it transformed my house and made my house so much more manageable, which in turn I'm able to keep it more organized, keep it more manageable, and I think that creates a really nice, peaceful living space. I highly recommend checking that challenge out. I will leave the playlist in the description. I'm a firm believer that if our house is messy and chaotic and we have a lot of stuff, crammed in drawers and hidden behind cabinets, even though we can't see it, all that junk adds this heavy energy, and just purging and getting rid of stuff, you instantly feel lighter and your house is more manageable, and that creates a much more peaceful home for not only you and your family, but also the guests that come into your home. So I highly recommend doing a huge purge on your house and letting go of those items no longer serving you. Tip number 6, organize your home. Now that you have your house decluttered and it feels lighter, organizing is such a good way to create good systems in your home. It makes your house feel more cohesive and pleasant to be in. They have so many good options for organization. I personally love TJ Maxx or Home Goods, but Amazon again has tons. I really like Wayfair. Things like baskets to contain your everyday items like pillows, blankets, your children's toys. They make beautiful decorative boxes that you can house things like your remotes, your electronics, even like your cords and stuff. You can kind of corral those into beautiful baskets and boxes. Tissue box holders, for example. On my coffee table, I have a tissue box with a woven cover over it, and it just adds a little bit of decorative element to tie in my personal style. So try to think of ways that you can create a little bit of decor and design in those everyday items. For example, in our bathroom, we use apothecary jars to store our Epsom salts, or in our kitchen, a big glass jar for our coffee that we use every day on the counter. It's displayed, but it kind of has a little bit of a decorative element as well. Keeping storage units nice and neutral or cohesive with your design style and colors is a really nice way to add some storage and another element of design to your home, especially if you have children. I personally love wicker in my home, so I have tons of wicker baskets everywhere, and it's easy for me to just quickly tidy my home and keep those things out of sight, out of mind, but they still look really organized and neat and tidy. It makes a huge difference when everything in your home has a home. Tip number 7, curtains. I kind of feel like curtains are like the eyebrows of the room. You know, the eyebrows frame our face. The curtains tend to frame the room and the windows, which can create just a beautiful feeling and aesthetic to our home. A little hack is to hang your curtains as high as you can and as wide as you can. So, for example, if you have 9-foot ceilings, try to hang those curtains as high as you possibly can and as wide as you can. So sometimes that means hanging those rods on the outside of the window. So it creates larger looking windows and taller ceilings, which makes your home feel more luxurious and custom. Especially if you live in a smaller home or an older home that has lower ceilings, just by bringing those curtains up and the width out, it really draws the eye up and out, makes the windows feel larger and the room feel taller, which creates the illusion of a larger space. Tip number 8 is scent. Scent is such a huge part of having a beautiful home. Have you ever walked into a house and it just feels so cozy, and then on top of it, it smells nice? There's nothing worse than when you walk into a home that could be beautiful and very well designed, but it just stinks. It totally takes away from the way you feel in the space and the look of the space. So I know there's so many options for scents, from candles to less toxic options. And your personal preference of scent. Personally, I like to scent my home according to the season. So in the summer and springtime, I like to use more beachy, floral, kind of fruity scents that are more uplifting and bright. And then in the fall and winter time, I tend to use more sandalwood and teakwood and vanillas, things like are more warm and cozy and inviting. I live in Minnesota, so I get all 4 seasons here, and I like to scent my home according to how I'm feeling in each of those seasons, and it just creates a nice, warm, inviting home. All right, if you made it to the end, I actually have a little bonus tip, and that is to take your time. I feel like in today's world, we're so used to instant gratification. If we want something, we just jump on Amazon, add it to cart, and a day or 2 later, it's here. It doesn't have to be that way with designing your home. Really be intentional and take your time. When we moved into our brand new built home in 2018, we did not have a huge budget. And once the house was built, we didn't really plan for getting all new furniture and stuff. But the home that we lived in prior was only 900 square feet. So that furniture, when we moved into our more open floor plan, it was not to scale and not appropriate and just didn't feel right. So slowly we saved up money and we splurged on, a nice big dining room table and chairs and, those bigger ticket items. Every paycheck we would just add a little bit more decor to our home. And slowly but surely over the years, we have finally furnished and curated our home to fit our personal style and aesthetic. And I am so glad that we took our time, because we didn't have to sacrifice on those items that we really wanted. We just had to wait a little bit longer to get them. All right. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you found some value in today's video. If you have any tips or tricks on how you could save money in design, please leave those comments below. I would love to hear what you guys do. And don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.